Hello, welcome to the training video on creating and submitting an asbestos abatement notification for buildings. My name is Norma Gentry, and I'm going to walk you through building and submitting a notification and also paying for it. This is the second way we have of submitting notifications. It's brand new and it is paperless. You do not have to send in a paper notification if you do it this way. If you need to submit a building notification or a bridge notification, please visit the training videos for that subject. To get to the notification, you'll want to go to the Iowa DNR website. And that website is iowadnr.gov. If you hover over the Environmental Protection tab and look over to the far left side, it is the fourth item down. Click on Asbestos/Training Fires, then click on the link to the website. This will take you to the asbestos notification system login. If you have not created an account, you will need to do so prior to submitting a notification. And here is the link to create the account. Please exit this video and go to the Create Account video if you need help with that. If you have already created an account, the login for existing customers is in the middle of the page. It's right here. Please enter your email, which I'm going to do now. And your password. And then click the login button. This is the email and password that you created when you set up your account. Your name should appear on this page, and for purposes of this demonstration, I'm Jane Testing. This is also the home screen. If you have any unfinished notifications, they will show at the bottom of this screen. To start, you would click on the line that says Submit a Building Demolition/Renovation Notification. This takes you to the first page. The form is designed to be intuitive based on the answers to certain questions. The notification type should be original. And then this postmark date, submit date, is the date you enter the notification. If you do not finish the notification and come back another day, the system will automatically change the date to the current date. You may also need to change the start date of the notification. The operation type, for purposes of this video, would be abatement, and asbestos present would be yes. Your start date needs to be 11 working days, or your start date needs to be 11 working days from the postmark submit date. So your start date, and there's this little pop-up calendar when you click in this box. If you go two weeks down from the postmark date on the calendar, which would be the 3rd of March, then that gives you the 11 days. Because it's 10 business days from the postmark date, but you can't start till the 11th day. And then you need to estimate an ending date. So for purposes of this video, we're going to say that your ending date is going to be March 24th. You may have to revise this later on if that ending date changes. You want to do a search to find the building that you are abating. It may be in here, it may not, depending on if the building has had other abatement jobs done or demolition jobs, renovation. And for purposes of this video, we're going to say it's not here. If it was, you would highlight, you would select it, and it would populate the information on this page. So we're going to call this a commercial building. It could be called anything. It doesn't have to be called a commercial building. It could be a residence. It could be a garage. It could be a warehouse, whatever is descriptive for you. Then the address. And this is the physical mailing address of the building. And then the county. And if you click here, it brings up all the counties. If you start typing, it will take you to the counties that you want. And then the city, we're going to say this is Des Moines. Iowa's populated, and it's hard-coded because every building that is abated should be in Iowa. Otherwise, you wouldn't be submitting the notification. The zip code and the building size. And most of the information on building size, year constructed, number of floors, you can get from the county assessor's page if you don't have that information. Present use will be commercial. Prior use will be commercial. And then on a notification for abatement, you have to put the location in which the asbestos has been found. And for this, for the purpose of this, we're going to say it's the basement. Then hit save and continue at the bottom of the screen. Okay, search for the owning company that is the owner of the building. So you have to click this, and we're going to say it's the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. If you have too many choices, then you can type more of the name in, and it will narrow it down for you. And there it is. Okay. And it automatically populates what you select. Then you need to search for the company's contact. If you just hit this search button, it will bring up all contacts associated with that company. The search for the operating company, this is the information that you entered when you created your account. This is your information. It should be your name, your number. This information cannot be changed. The next thing that you want to do is, since on abatements, the abatement contractor has to be the same as the operating company, you can just copy the data, because abatement contractors have to submit their own notification. So at the bottom of the page, you hit the save and continue to go to the next page. We then need the amount of asbestos, either in square feet, linear feet, or cubic feet, right here. The only thing that can be reported as linear feet is pipe, and the only thing that can be reported in cubic feet is debris. Everything else must be reported in square feet. Anything under the limits of 260 linear feet, 160 square feet, and 35 cubic feet is considered a courtesy notification, and no fee is required. For anything over the limits, the fee is required. The square footage amounts in 11A have to be broken down into categories listed in 11B. So we're going to say we have 200 square feet. We're going to say 100 of it floor materials. Just to show you, we're going to say 50 the sealing materials. You have to click in the box. And then your testing method, most of it's going to be polar light microscopy. Asbestos can be assumed, but that means everything that you take out has to be considered as regulated asbestos-containing materials. And if you look here, you can see that when we assume it, the inspector disappears. So we're going to say it's polar light microscopy. And then we're going to search for an inspector. And we're going to say it is Steve. And you should know this information. Okay. And if your inspector isn't there, you can enter him. Just hit Add New Inspector. And hit Save, and that populates here. You will need his license number, which he should have, and it needs to be entered in this format. 2-digit year with the license number and the date it was inspected. The date inspected has to be prior to the submit date, postmark date of the notification. And then you choose as many of these as apply. Okay, I'm going to hit Save and Continue, but it's going to give me an error because this does not equal this. The amounts in 11B must equal the amounts in 11A. So, okay, I made a mistake. We actually have 100 and sealing materials, 104 materials. Then it lets me go on. Then we're going to search for the waste transporter if it's different from your company. If the transporter is the same, we're just going to copy that information. And in this case, it is. If you have a waste transporter, a second waste transporter, you would search for that waste transporter and fill this information in, and plus their contact. Then we want to do the waste disposal site. And we're going to assume it's the Des Moines landfill. There is no contact on the waste site. If you have a second one, you can do another search and fill this in. A lot of times it will be the landfill for the asbestos-containing material, and sometimes they'll have a recycler for like the steel or the wood. Save and continue. And then you have to click the I agree box. And all this means is if you run across asbestos that you did not expect, that you will stop the work and call the certified asbestos contractor and the Iowa DNR. And then save and continue. And then this gives you the chance to review your notification, everything that you put in. If you discover that you made a mistake, just hit back to step 5. And you go back to wherever you made your mistake, fix it, and then page back through the form. And then this is where you pay. And for this purpose of this video, we're going to pay with a credit card. And the amount due is $105, and that's because there's a $5 convenience fee on a credit card. All of this fills in based on your information, and then you enter your card numbers. And the expiration date. And the security code off the back of the card. And then your billing address. You click Use a Different Address. It should prompt you to fill it in. And then you review your payment, make sure that this is correct. And then hit Confirm. And then you get a status of processed. This is your confirmation number. You can print it for your records. If everything is okay, hit Continue. And it takes you to the payment screen, confirmation, certification. Certification is required because asbestos is present. This is certifying that the notification is true to the best of your knowledge and that a individual trained in removal of asbestos is on site. Certifier's title, could be project manager, project designer, owner, and then I agree. And then you have to log into the asbestos notification. This is basically where you're electronically signing your notification. And then you have to answer one of your secret questions with the answers that you gave when you created your account. Then you sign a copy of the record to complete your submission. It's processing. And then it goes back to this screen, and it says your notification copy of record has been successfully submitted. You will receive a couple of emails, and it tells you that your notification has been submitted and that you have paid. So you get those two for your records. And from here, you can either do another one, log out, or do something else. And that concludes this training video.